story ends, we'll see if the newcomer can take down the veteran. As spawning in the top side of Sylphoid, we have our South Korean Terran player, the Blue Terran. Representing his new team, representing Streamer Zone, it is a QuanTa. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the newcomer. We have the orange Terran player from South Korea. Representing Brood War Terran, it is Ookable. And if you're in the chat, predictions are now open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Again, the winner of this series will face off against Rebellion in the next round. So that's why we have hopped over, just because Rebellion, we just casted and just finished up Rebellion series. He is waiting. He does have some downtime. We're here to find out who will face off against him. And this could go either way. Now, we don't really know what happened in the previous games, outside of this being the ace match. So I'm curious how our players play this out. I should close this. There we go. As we are settling in. And we have interesting Ookable CC first. Bold move. Now, the reason why you can get away with CC first, it is a very greedy maneuver here by Ookable, but welcome to a 3-player map. You can spawn in towards the top, left, or right-hand side. So that means it can take a little bit longer for your opponent to scout you, and can take a little bit longer for your opponent to punish you as well. So this is a bit of a gamble, but we'll see if it pays off. So far, it looks like it will. Racks into 2 racks follow-up here by Ookable. Meanwhile, QuanTa back at home going for a racks expand. Standard economic opener here by QuanTa. Standard economic opener out of QuanTa. Meanwhile, a bit of a greedier opener here by Ookable, going CC first into triple racks. We can see QuanTa going for an SCV scout, and unfortunately for QuanTa, it's going to take him a little bit longer to realize what's going on. He will scout and he will confirm that Ookable is, of course, spawning in towards the bottom left. He knows that at least. He knows where his opponent is, but he doesn't know how greedy Ookable has been. Here we go. As the SCV does turn back around, so likewise, Ookable going to be scouting. His SCV is going to be running into the Reaper. Likewise, Ookable wasn't aware of where his opponent had spawned in. And the SCV should fall. SCV gets cleaned up. Back at home, bunker is almost done. Marines are on the way, and with the help of this bunker, with the help of these Marines, we should be able to defend here at the natural. Another big feature of this map, and this is a feature that is in most maps for SC Evo, for those that are curious, do you notice something? No Reaper Cliff. No Reaper Cliff into the natural base, unlike in SC2 where Reaper Cliffs are very common. They're a very common feature in SC2. In SC Evo, they're more of a rarity. And they're more often just seen in the SC2 specific maps. So because of that, this Reaper is less valuable, the bunker is done, and there's no way to scout the main, not with a Reaper at least. And I do think that this is quite intentional as well, especially because early on, especially if one player goes Mass Reaper, the Brood War Terran player doesn't really have as much of a mobile army, especially early on, so it allows them to defend and focus on one area to defend early on, to stabilize, to get into a longer game. It stops Reapers from getting out of hand, and from things like proxy Reapers snowballing out of control. Behind this, we do have a 1-1-1 follow-up here out of QuanTa, going to Hellions to help support, to gain map control. Meanwhile, Ookable confirming prioritizing bioproduction. It's going to be Mass Marine Medic here for our Orange Terran. Scans across the map, gets eyes on at least the starport, is aware of the 1-1-1. Oh, not just a 1-1-1. QuanTa is going for a proxy fusion. He's crazy. He's going BC. he's rushing BC. QuanTa with the proxy fusion core. He's wild. He's crazy. He lost his mind. And I mean, we'll see if he can get away with it. Now, BCs take a while to produce. They do take a while. This is why I love QuanTa as well. I should emphasize that. QuanTa, he can be a very creative player. He is similar to Honmono in the fact that he's a bit of an animal, but a very different kind of animal. I feel like QuanTa is a little bit more creative. Honmono is just aggressive. Este Honmono. But for now, the Hellions are going to be buying some time against purely Marine Medic. You can see, oh my god, the medics line up. When every single medic goes down, 3 medics get sniped, and without any medics, we can't move out. Yeah, Ookable, he's going to be stuck at home, lost all his medics, and that is going to give QuanTa the time he needs to build up those BCs, as we have Yamato being researched across the map. First BC is on the way. Now, it's only going to be single port BC. It's not 2-port BC. So it's not as wild as it could be. It would be crazy, though. Meanwhile, Ookable, he's getting into Biotank. Tank production underway. I believe he's got Stim. Yep, Stim has been researched. But again, losing all those medics delays the push. Delays the push. It buys time. Scan across the map reveals not... Oh, the fake cloak! Scan reveals that cloak is being researched for Banshees. But again, QuanTa, he only started... Yep, he started and he cancelled. It was only for show. The big brain, papi. Ah, it's beautiful. Ay, ay, ay. As siege mode is being researched, bearing in mind as well, because this is Bruno Terran, this is back in the day when tanks, they had to learn how to siege. It's a bit of a learning process for them. Let's go. Scan reveals additional factories, the buyer producing. First PCs on the way. Now, there are a lot of Marines, that is true, but Marines are going to be a little bit less mobile than they otherwise would be in SC2 just because there are no medics. Right? Sorry, medevacs, I meant to say. There are no medevacs. You have to rely on medics. Means you can't kind of like pick up, unload, and boost across and keep up with the BC. Regardless, first BC has arrived. Turret is going to finish up just barely. Only 2 SCV kills. But the BC on the edge does trade with the Marines. Yeah, a couple of Marines going down. Yamato goes off, takes out a tank. BC does back off in time. Very nice pickoff. And you can see QuanTa lying in wait, waiting for the counterattack. And the Marines, will they line up? QuanTa, he does miss the move out. Does miss the main army. You can see Ookable trying to hunt down that BC. Hellions are spotted. And QuanTa has to back off behind this. QuanTa is embracing Mega. Oh, they're lining up! No! Oh my god, the barbecue! The Hellions, they're crazy. They pop up. They annihilate the Marines. The Marine count almost completely just eviscerated here. Barely any Marines left. Hellions, they're snowballing out of control. You rarely see this. Hellions popping off against Marines. Behind this, more Hellions on the way. Blue Flame as well. Double armory. Mech upgrades. And of course, full-on mech. Full-on mech with BC support. And BC's coming in for the Yamato. They're looking for that Yamato. He wants that tank. And he's going to get it. Yeah, Yamato goes off, gets a free tank. Tank goes down, not just one. Here comes another Yamato. Another Yamato is available. He holds onto it though. Doesn't spend it yet. He's respecting those Marines quite a bit. Scans ahead of time. BCs, they want it, papi. Getting another tank. Tank goes down for free. Third BC on the way. The second starport as well. He wants the mass BC, papi. Second starport's on the way. At the same time, the Bio Army, it's holding its own for now. But I do worry about the Blue Flame Hellions. Army steps in. But not enough here to bring down the BC. The Hellions, they just go to town on the Marines. I say that, the tanks, oh my god, they pop off. But there's not enough Marines. The Hellions, they did their job. Not enough anti-air. The BC's on the run. Even without Yamato, they snowball out of control. They shut down every Marine, the tanks, the medics. They shut everything down. Aye, aye, aye. And nothing else shoots up. The BC snowballs out of control. This was quite a build. Making use of how large the map was. And with that, it looks like QuanTa has done it. He has broken the back of Ookable. And what a wild way to end the series as well. Yamato's go up, they take down the turret. Camber the production. Goliaths are on the way. But again, they might just be too little too late for Ookable. As clearly Mass Marine was not the answer. Now we get the Goliaths, but the BCs, they can just teleport away. Yamato goes off. And you can see QuanTa just rallying across the map, busting into the mineral lines. And QuanTa, yeah, just having a unique approach here to this TvT. GG gets called. QuanTa, he will take the series 2-1, advancing on to the next round with a wild BC rush. GG. GG, well played. And I would not be surprised if Ookable had never been in that position before. Winding it back a little bit here, it does seem like you have no pushing power as the bio tank player. specifically in that kind of dynamic. Like winding it back and thinking about like how the armies were kind of interacting with each other. Clearly there was kind of this moments where Ookable was able to build up, where he had his siege line. The siege line was able to punish those Hellions, but it looked like the Marines were a little bit too far forward. They were a little bit too cavalier. We saw that if we got a couple of Hellion volleys off, and if the Marine count got too low, then the BCs could snowball out of control. So I do feel like you can still probably approach this with a Marine tank composition, but you would have to be very defensive, and you'd have to be very careful with how you position your Marines, maybe even bunkers, and play a more turtley style. Otherwise, I would imagine that going into your own mech as a response would be a little bit more viable here. In saying that though, it was difficult to scout because if you remember, because the map is so large, I mean, it would happen on any large map, even a 2-player spawn map, to be fair, but alas, of course, the tech was hidden, the fusion core was not scouted. QuanTa did a beautiful job at hiding the build and hiding the BCs until far later, and yeah, it was just a fun game. GG, well played. QuanTa does take it, and now we are getting ready for our next series. We're getting ready for our PvT between Rebellion and QuanTa. Let's go.